All right. Good afternoon. You are welcome to my YouTube channel. So today we are still going to be taking on calculus, and normally the beginning of calculus mainly limit of a function. Okay, the limit of a function is just like your normal word polynomial, whereby you substitute the value of a variable into an expression given to you. Now, this time around, we are going to be taking series of questions in limits. And whenever you are solving limits, okay, it's mainly two basic methods. Okay, we have limits of x approaches a, and also we also have limits of s approaches what? Infinity. Okay, mainly. And limit of s or a variable approaches a there represents what? Any value. It can be 0, it can be 1, it can be 2, 3, 4, 5, etc, etc. Then we also have limit of s approaches what? Infinity. So the way you solve limit of s approaches a and the way you solve limit of s approaches infinity, they are quite what? Different. So by God's grace, we are going to focus more on limit of s approaches a first, and if time permits us, we'll move straight to limit. We'll take some series of questions on limit of s approaches what? Infinity. Okay, now in limits of x approaches a, so number one question there. All right, so we have limits. We are asked to evaluate the following. Okay, if you are asked to evaluate the following, okay, let's assume you are given a question, okay, that is to limit lim s approaches 1, and you have a question which is 3s squared then minus 4x and plus 3. All right, now this very question, they are likewise telling you here that your x is same thing as 1. It simply means that whenever you see s, the first step you take is to substitute that value. Okay, so this one solution is same as 3 bracket, our s is the same thing as what? 1, which is 1 raised to power 2 minus 4 bracket 1 then plus 3. So from there it becomes what? 3 bracket 1 raised to power 2 is same as what? 1, then minus 4 plus 3. And 3 times 1 will give us what? 3 minus 4 plus 3. 3 minus 4 will give us what? Minus 1. And minus 1 plus 3 will give us what? 2. So that is our answer. And number 2 question. If we have limits of s approaches 2, so we give us 1 all over s plus 3. Like what I said earlier on, the first step you take is to substitute the value. Okay, solution. So it becomes 1 all over, our s here is same thing as what? 2, which is 2 plus 3. So we give us a 1 all over what? 5. So that is for that. So number 3 question. So we also have limits of s approaches 3. So we have 2s minus 5, then all over s squared, then plus 2. Don't forget, I said the first step you take is to substitute the value of x. So in this place, our s is the same thing as what? As 3. So this is same thing as 2 bracket, what was our s? 3, then minus 5, all over 3 squared, then plus what? 2. So we give us 2 times 3, we give us what? 6 minus 5, all over 3 raised to power 2, we give us what? 9. 9 plus 2. So from there, 6 minus 5 will give us 1. Then 9 plus 2 will give us what? 11. So number 4 question. We also have limits of s approaches to s cubed all over s minus 2. Alright, you already know what's x. S is what? 2. So it becomes 2 raised to power 3 all over 2 minus 2. Then from there, 2 raised to power 3, so we give us what? 8. Then all over 0. And 8 cannot divide 0. We give you what? Infinity. So whenever you have something like that, it simply means that it does not exist. So 8 cannot divide 0. That means it does not what? Exist. Alright, so the next one, which is number 5, we have limit of s approaches 3, will give us 2s plus 5. Alright, so it becomes, I believe you can give a try now, which is 2 brackets 3, then plus 5, and 2 times 3 will give us what? 6 plus 5, and 6 plus 5 will give us what? 11. So now let's move down to the difficult one. So we have limits of x approaches 2. Okay, I guess that should be number what? Number 6. So we have s squared minus 4s plus 4. Then all over x minus 2. So don't forget, I said the first step you take is to substitute the value for x. In limit, whenever you substitute the value for s and you are having 0 over 0, it simply means undefined. Undefined simply means that you can simply work on that particular expression before you can substitute the value directly. Now, this time around, whenever we substitute our 2, we are going to have what? 2 raised to power 2 minus 4 brackets 2, then plus 4. So we give us 2 minus 2. So from there, 2 raised to power 2 give us what? 4. We give us what? 4. Then minus 4 times 2, we give us what? 8 plus 4. Then all over 2 minus 2 give us what? 0. So from there, 4 minus 8, we give us minus 4. Minus 4 plus 4, we give us what? 0. All over 0. Here you call it what? Undefined. You call it what? Undefined. Now you can simply work on that particular word expression. If you observe, this is what? Simultaneous word equation. Sorry, this is a quadratic word equation. A quadratic equation is a degree of what? Of 2. Now, what you are going to do, whenever you have s squared minus 4s plus 4, okay, now if you break it down, okay, this, it can bring out maybe s minus 2 and s minus 2. Now if you open up this expression, okay, this sitting as s times a, we give us what? S squared. Then s times minus 2, we give us minus 2x. Minus 2 times a, we give us minus 2s. Minus 2 times minus 2, we give us what? We give us plus 4. So it becomes s squared minus 4x and plus 4. If you observe, if the same thing with this word expression, we can easily go with this because 2 is common and s is also what? Common. Okay, now if you are trying to apply this, which is s minus 2 and s plus 2, and if you observe, when you open up this bracket, it's not going to be the same thing with this. So it becomes what? S squared, then plus 2s minus 2s and minus what? 4. So we give us what? S squared, then this cancel out minus 4. You can see that this very answer is quite different from this particular word expression. So we have to go with this. So this one becomes, so from there we have limits of s approaches 2, so which is s squared minus 4s plus 4 all over s minus 2. Now this is same thing as what? X minus 2, then x minus 2, then all over the denominator, which is s minus 2. So from there, this can cancel out this. So we'll be left with what? S minus what? Minus 2. Now this time around, we know what is our s. Our s is what? 2. So it becomes 2 minus 2. And 2 minus 2 will give us what? 0. So that is our what? Answer. Thank you. All right. We can move down to number 7 question. So we have number 7. We have limits of s approaches 3, s minus 3, and x minus 3. So whenever I substitute the value now, it becomes 3 minus 3 over 3 minus 3. And 3 minus 3 will give us 0 over 0. And 0 over 0 means what? Undefined. Okay. So from there, then you can simplify that particular word value further. So it becomes limit of s approaches 3, s minus 3 over s minus 3. Mathematically, you have the same thing in your denominator and in your numerator, s minus 3 and what? S minus what? Minus 3. They can easily what? Cancelled out. And your final answer become 1 all over 1 will give us what? 1. So that is your answer. Alright, let's move down to this. S approaches what? 2. So we give us s minus 2, then all over s squared minus 4x, then plus 4. Similar to our number 6 question. So this is number what? 8. So this time around, you already know what you do here. So this first step normally is to substitute the value of x. So we give us what? 2 minus 2 over 2 squared minus 4 bracket 2 plus 4. We give us 0 all over this 18 as 4 minus 8 plus 4. So we give us 0 over 0, which is what? Undefined. Alright. So from there, so we now add limit of s approaches what? 2. We give us s minus 2 all over s squared minus 4s plus 4. So from there, this 18 as s minus 2, then all over s minus 2, then x minus 2. If you open this expression, it's going to give you back this. So from there, if this can cancel out this, you'll be left with 1 all over x minus 2. This time I know what is your x. S is what? 2. So it becomes 1 all over 2 minus 2 will give us 1 all over what? 0. And 1 cannot divide 0. So that means does not what? Does not exist. So that is your answer. Thank you. Alright. So we can move straight to the next question. I can wipe this. Alright, so number 9, we have limits of s approaches 3. So we have 2s minus 6 all over s minus 3. So unlike this, now this is normal linear equation. So first step is to substitute. So we have 2 brackets 3 minus 6 all over 3 minus 3. So we give us what? 6 minus 6 over 3 minus 3. That is 0 over 0. 0 over 0 is what? Undefined. then you can simplify that particular word expression. Then it becomes limit of s approaches 3, so we give us to s minus 6 over s minus 3. If you observe here, okay, 2 and 3 is common, you can simply what factorize the numerator, so it becomes, if you bring out 2, what will be left here, you'll be left with x. So 6 divided by 2 is what? Is 3. So minus what? 3. Then all over s minus 3. If you open down this 2 times a, we give you what? 2s. 2 times minus 3, we give you what? Minus what? 6. So what happened here? This can cancel out this. So we'll be left with 2 over 1. We give us what? 2. So that is our answer. Alright. Alright, we have limit of x approaches 1. So this is written as 1 square minus 1 over 1 minus 1. So 1 square give 1 minus 1, 1 minus 1. That is 0 over 0, which is what? Undefined. Alright, now if you observe 1 and s is common, so what you do, you bring out this normal what? Quadratic what? Equation. So we have s minus 1, then x minus 1. So s times a give you s squared minus x, this times this minus x, then plus 1. We give you s squared minus 2s plus 1. It's not the same thing with this expression. They go along with s minus 1, then s plus 1. S times a give you s squared, s times 1 plus x, then minus x, then minus 1. So we give you what? S squared. This can cancel out, then minus 1. You can see it's the same thing with this word expression, so we can adopt this. So from there, we have limit of s approaches 1. Then s squared minus 1, then all over s minus what? 1. So from there, it becomes x minus 1, then s plus 1 over s minus 1. So from there, this can cancel out this. So we'll be left with s plus 1. This time around, you know what is x. S is the same thing as what? 1. Cannot substitute the value for what? X. So it becomes what? 1 plus 1. And 1 plus 1 will give us what? 2. Alright, we have another question here. 3s minus 5s squared all over 5. So this same thing as 3 bracket 0 minus 5 bracket 0 squared all over 0. We give us 0 minus 0 over 0, that is 0 over 0. 0 over 0 means what? Undefined. Alright, so we are limit of s approaches 0, 3s minus 5s squared all over s. If you observe, s is what? S is common. I can easily factor out my x. So it becomes, if I bring out s, I'll be left with 3. If I bring out s, I'll be left with minus 5x. Then all over what? X. So this time around, this can cancel out this. I'll be left with 3 minus 5x. And I know what is my s. S is what? 0. So it becomes 3 minus 5 bracket 0. So we give us what? 3 minus 0. Answer becomes what? 3. Thank you. All right, we have another question again. So the first step you take is to substitute the value, which is what, 4. So it becomes 4 squared minus 8 bracket 4 plus 16 over 4 minus 4. So we give us what, 16. 4 raised power 2 is 16, then minus 32, then plus 16 all over 0. So we give us what, minus 16 plus 16 will give us 0 over 0. That is undefined. All right. So from there, it becomes limit of s approaches what, 4. S squared minus 8s plus 16 all over s minus 4. If you observe, s and 4 is common. I can easily bring out s minus 4 and x minus 4. S times s give us s squared. S times minus 4 minus 4x. Minus 4 times s minus 4x. Minus 4 times minus 4 is plus what, 16. We give us s squared minus 8s plus 16. If you observe, it's the same with the word expression. So it becomes what, s minus 4, s minus 4. Then all over s minus 4. So this can cancel out this. I'll be left with s minus 4. And my s is representing what, 4. So it becomes 4 minus 4, will give us what, 0.